Well, hello again. Today, it's getting dark outside, so I had to use a sort of film light to light this little gem. Really, I over time, by accident, I got a huge fan of Ricoh cameras, and it all started with the ZF and the 500G, and then by accident I came to, well, this one, the Singlex TLS. I have never felt such a heavy camera, but also never felt such a thoroughly built and well-built camera. You might think I am a Olympus basher, but there are, not only Olympus, but you see on fora and on the internet, on the special Facebook groups, wherever, you see Leica, Contax and Nikons. It's like you cannot make beautiful pictures with cheaper cameras, with cameras like this. This one cost me a 30 euros, and not with this lens, but with a Ricoh lens. This is not a lens I have, because the advantage of this camera is it has a M42 lens mount. So that means you can put any M42 lens mount on it, even old Takumar, old Pentax lenses, like this one. This one is a 1.8. What is it, 55 or 50? I have to check. Let me see. What is it? 1.5, 55. 1.8, 55 millimeters. Very good lens, by the way. Old lens, but very good. And I got this by accident also for a bargain. But the choices of lenses is enormous. Originally there was a Ricoh on it, f2.8, not very fast, but a very good lens, very sharp, even wide open, as much as you could speak of wide open. But it was a little bit bigger than this, but it's still a very good lens in standard shape. Talking about this camera, what does it have? Well, it basically has everything you need as a starting photographer or advanced photographer. The camera is fully manual. That means that you can operate every shutter speed without any batteries. And it sounds like this. Even the sound of the shutter, it's like an old Mercedes door closing. You can hear that sound that is so very thorough, and it gives a lot of confidence in how the camera operates. The controls to control your camera, well, obviously on the lens you have the aperture settings, and on the camera here is the setting for the aperture. The maximum aperture is 1/1000th of a second, so well, pretty fast. There's a little knob here. When you push this knob upwards, then two things happen. First, the aperture is being activated, and secondly, the light meter is being switched on. And the light meter is a coupled light meter. That means if you change the value here or on the shutter speed dial, the meter of the light meter will change its position. And the meter is like an Olympus OM1. You have a little area where the needle should be just in the middle. And if it's in the middle, that means the combination of your chosen aperture and shutter speed is okay to make the picture. Let's just simply cock the shutter and fire the shutter. There's even a self-timer on it for those who want a selfie. On the back we have here, this is a rewind button, a thread for a tripod, and in here goes the battery. They used to go in a 1.35 volt battery. I use hearing aid batteries with a little rubber washer. I put it around the hearing aid battery. It's a 675 battery, and the voltage of those batteries is 1.4 volts. So I've checked this, what happens with the light meter with a modern camera to see, if the shutter speed is pretty accurate, and it was, so it operates pretty well with commonly available batteries, and very cheap batteries. Here you have a, well, it's only set to remind you what film you have in it. On the side you have two sockets, one for a bulb and one for a flash. Well, they work accordingly. And in here you see the metal shutter. It's a metal shutter. I am a fan of metal shutters, by the way. Very thorough. You know, it's the only thing I have to do. I had to do with this one is change the light seals. Now, the light seals here, you know, they're often very hard to get. You know, here you can always find something you can glue on, like the filk you can buy at Amazon. But here this is very thin. And for this camera there aren't any sets you can buy to do it. What I use is I buy pure wool. You know, the wool they use to knit a sweater with. And I put a little bit of Vaseline on the wool. I have a thread of wool like the same size of this. And then with a little screwdriver, I put the wool, which is a little bit fat of the Vaseline, but not too fat. I put the wool in here, and then, well, basically you have a light seal that is closing off very well, very easy to change, and it's very durable as well. Because to stick something in here is very, very hard to do. Now, like this, you close it again. So the only disadvantage this camera had, it was, well, it didn't have an accessory shoe, but they are available, as you can see, and you just slide them on the viewfinder. You can put here a flash, or, you know, the gadgets I have to use this camera as with a waist viewfinder. That's one a disadvantage of this camera. The standard focusing screen is, yeah, it doesn't have a split image. So I had a camera I tried to repair but did not succeed. And that camera had a split focusing screen. I opened this one, which is very easy. It's not a complicated technique inside. Well, it is complicated, but it's not so complicated as the modern cameras you see sometimes. And the prism is very easy to take off. And when you take the prism off, you can see immediately the focusing screen. Now, the focusing screen I had was too big. I just cut off a little bit of the sides with a sharp scissor. That's it. I put the split image focusing screen in and hoping for the best, but you know, it's working, it's super. So now I have, because that for me that was a big advantage to get a really sharp, I wear glasses, so for me it was very hard to make a sharp picture without having a split image. But now I have, and it was a very, very easy operation. So if you have old cameras, keep them for parts. You know, also for the little screws. When you open up cameras and try to repair them, there comes a time you're missing one little screw. So to have a dono camera, no matter what brand it is, it all comes in always very handy. Like for the focusing screen, sometimes a prism. I have exchanged prism of several brands of cameras, and they fitted more or less. So that is, now I have a 30-year-old Ricoh Singlex, you know, which can last for another 100 years, with a split image focusing screen. Maybe the only one in the world, I don't know, maybe some other idiot had the same idea as I have. But for me this is, you know, this camera won't break. It is heavy to take with you, but so is every SLR, let's be honest. It doesn't matter if you take an SLR of 700 grams or 1 kilo like this one. It's all heavy. You know, you cannot put it in your pocket anyway. So I really, really love this camera. It's because of its simplicity, because of the sound of a shutter. It's because of you feel something you have in your hand. And yeah, I think it's a very underrated camera. So bear in mind, if you're looking for a bargain, a nice manual SLR, which can also be used with a coupled light meter if the light meter is working. You know, take this in consideration. It's a beautiful camera. Well, thank you for watching. If you have questions or remarks about this camera, please let me know. The remarks below. And When I see them, I will respond or answer your question immediately. Thank you very much for watching again.